Hey guys, Raff here. Today we're going to be talking about the hierarchy list. Is it important? Is it helpful? Is it unhelpful? Or what is even it? And today, this is what we're going to be looking at. I hope that by this point, if you're watching this video, you already understand and accept the fact that compulsions are the things that feels like you need them. They feel so sweet when you ask for reassurance and people give it, you love it. But in the end, they bite you in the butt and they keep you stuck in the OCD cycle. So I hope that by this point, you understand that compulsions are not good for you. That the way to recover from OCD is to seek delayed gratification over instant gratification, because instant gratification is taking you nowhere. So the hierarchy list is simply a list that you're going to put together from the lowest to the highest fears that you have. You've got to sit down and self-examine in a real, honest way. What are the thoughts that you are trying to avoid? What are the people that you are trying to avoid? What are the places and things that are triggering you that you've been avoiding by any costs? And instead of avoiding them, you are making a choice to face them right on. That you were sick and tired of avoiding them just to feel worse anyway. So you're going to get honest with you and be like, hey, I'm avoiding this person. I'm avoiding this house. I'm avoiding that restaurant. I'm avoiding whatever that might be. Whatever your fears are. And you're going to put them down on that list. And from the lowest to the highest, you're going to face it. But friends, facing it without changing the response prevention is no point. ERP stands for exposure and response prevention. Exposing yourself and not changing the way that you respond ain't gonna do no good for you. Instead, it's gonna get you worse. So you need to make sure that you are ready to face your fears, but to respond differently. You've got to be able to face your fears without asking for reassurance after that. You've got to be able to face your fears without Googling after that. You've got to be able to face your fears and not act on the compulsion. Oh, Raff, but I might feel so anxious. Not mine, you will. I can guarantee you that. Friends, you need to realize that compulsions were the things that you acted upon to get rid of anxiety. And to recover from OCD, we've got to learn a healthy way of actually accepting anxiety. That anxiety is part of life, that we don't want to push it away, but we want to allow it to rise up and to let it die down in a natural way without acting on compulsions. And that's what exposure and response prevention is. You're going to face those triggers right on, choosing not to kill the anxiety with a compulsion, but instead, you're going to sit with discomfort. You're going to actually accept uncertainty. And every time OCD says to you, hey man, what if you're contaminated? Hey, what if your partner is not the right one? Hey, but what if I actually left that door open? It makes sense to check it, right? But whatever OCD says, you've got to be willing to look at it and say, hey, maybe not. Maybe my partner is the right one, but maybe he or she isn't. Maybe I left the door open, but maybe I didn't. And today I will choose to let it go and not check it. Friends, that's the only way to recover from OCD. You've got to face those triggers, stop avoiding them, and respond differently. And you know what? Before it gets better, it's gonna get worse. Because you are no longer running from triggers, you are facing them, and the anxiety will rise. But by responding appropriately, you're gonna slowly understand that those threats, friends, are not real. They are only threats. You've got to understand that if your situation is that you have a perceived threat followed by anxiety, that equals OCD. A perceived threat that comes with anxiety is OCD. So you've got to be able to accept whatever that threat is, expose yourself to it, and resist the compulsion to kill the anxiety. And trust me, by doing that, you will find freedom. You can do it. Go for it.